Hey dudes, how's it going? Assembling Mouse here. My name's Kyrandis. Welcome back to Blank Desert, and today is the introduction to life skill mastery that I seem to have a lot of questions occurring in stream about. So now that this is assembled, let's get on with this. Today is about manos mastery. Seems like a lot of people who don't kind of life skill have a bunch of questions, or either that there are some people who are just completely lost about mastery itself. This is just an introduction video, so it's not really going to go into each profession. I did say I was going to make a version 2 of all the mini guides when mastery came out, and it's finally here, and I've taken kind of forever about it. Sorry about that. But today is just pretty much overview, probably just about the gear and stuff. Mastery is pretty much a bonus to basically all the life skills that you ever do in this game. It's pretty much an increase towards like the gains that you get, so everything's not really static anymore. Before, a life skill could flatline at around like 20-30 mil on average per hour, but with mastery now you can go up to anywhere from like 100 to 120 mil to up to like 200 mil an hour just actively doing life skills. Really depends on what you do. That is not an exaggerated number, but to get 200 mil an hour, you're gonna have to have like literally near cap mastery. This is from scoping around other people's streams, other hardcore players, and other like life skills is where this information comes from. So if you don't believe it, go do the homework yourself. I'm not gonna go explain that. So essentially, max mastery that you can get is about 2,000 mastery. That's actually extremely hard to get. What you want to aim for is about like 650 or 600-ish just to start off. Brackets happen every 50 mastery points. So every time you reach 50 mastery points, the bonuses that you get from mastery, from life skill mastery, essentially increases the gains that you get for that particular activity. So one of the things that you also want to aim for is like about 900 or beyond 1,000. Once you start reaching masteries beyond 1,000, the bonuses that you gain from manos mastery starts from life skill mastery starts going up exponentially. The gains in the beginning are kind of minimal; they're not very high. It's only when you get towards the later areas of mastery is when the stuff starts going up really, really high in terms of gains and profits, for instance. So say cooking, for instance, right here as an example, I have 685 mastery just from the accessories I have on. I can easily edit this by just quickly removing some of these just to illustrate what the heck I'm talking about. So you see I dropped like only 2 brackets there, or 3. Let's see, so 650, 600, yeah, so 2 brackets down, and the extra profit that I lost in terms of mastery when I hand in Imperials is about 9% there. All right, so like from there, that goes up to 32% when I put it back on. And if I put on my cook's clothes, we go up to about 905, and suddenly we're at 56%. So we almost jumped like a full 20 digits. And that's a lot. It goes up far higher when you get to even higher digits. But essentially, levels itself is probably the most important thing. Gear itself helps a lot, obviously, but it's also very expensive. And for new players, I don't expect you guys to have like freaking manos clothes like off the bat. That's kind of an insane expectation. I'm not going to build this towards experts of the game because you guys already know what you're doing. So in terms of like beginners, like clothes are probably easier to enhance, but like getting it just to get it off, I'm assuming that you don't have like hundreds of millions to throw in the game or whatever. Manos is not something you want to start off with. You might want to start off with the blue level clothes. I'm not exactly sure if I would actually go with the green clothes to start off with, because the gains are not good enough, and you'd have to replace it far sooner than you would normally for any other kind of play. The main thing about the accessories is that a lot of people seem to make Loggia accessories as well. Those are fine to make. It's just that I would not push them towards TET. TET is very expensive in my opinion, unless you're just straight out lucky. Buying it is okay, but even then I still wouldn't really like buy it, because you have to replace this really quick. And the other thing is the mastery is only 32. I have 2 pieces of equipment here on screen. Pretty much you can look at it in comparison, and something that's just a dual manos ring is already much better than a Loggia ring. But like in terms of a blue accessory, might be worth considering, but it's just that the price range and the expenses used to make the accessory is a little bit on the hefty side. So you kind of second guess yourself and not really sure. But then the materials required to enhance it is much cheaper. Manos is obviously the most expensive, but you deal with the least amount of RNG that supersedes the Loggia and the Kyrandis accessories. So like a Pry Manos is almost, if not better than a TET Loggia in my opinion. Simply because a lot of people seem to disagree with this, but I full on like commit to it. So this is 4% and 25 mastery, but Loggia TET is 3% and 32 mastery. So you're sacrificing 7 mastery points and 1% life skill EXP. On top of that, you're also sacrificing a life bonus, set bonus that you get of 5% extra, which is 3% higher than a TET Loggia set. For every 2 accessories that you have, essentially. That's a very big difference, because 7 mastery is not enough for me to warrant going after a TET Loggia, because that's pretty much just 1 life skill level. Every life skill level gives you 5 mastery. So if you're getting your life skill EXP far more faster, then you're going to get those levels faster. You're going to raise your cap faster, and over the long run, you're going to get those gains faster. Whereas Loggia, you're only set capped out, and you're working on low-end chances. Low-end gains, and unless you're beyond 1,000, then that's a different story. But at like under sub 900 mastery, that difference is minuscule, and I don't really care about that kind of difference. Like, it really is like not really a big picture idea. So in terms of my ideas, it's the accessories for the life EXP is far more important. For instance, I raised alchemy from level 21 to 27 in a course of 2 days. All just from crafting all sorts of dumb shit. It's not really anything expensive, just like pure powder, clear liquid reagents. Apprentices, new players can make these things, and I just went ham at it like non-stop, and it exhausted like almost 100 tools. But that's pretty much like Manos gear that I want to go over. Processing is kind of different. So it's a mathematical problem, since everything is crafted in like massive amount of batches now. But I'll go over that in a video later. Fishing is actually very, very nice to level up. So I'll just briefly go over each of them. Like fishing is really, really nice just because of the AFK, and the prize fish that you might get overnight is really pricey. Could go up to like 50-60 mil really when you go hand it in. That's not a joke. There's nights where I'm just like, wow, 70 mil, this is great. And wake up and just hand it in and just start the day off with 70 mil. Hunting, this is actually really nice when you reach up to about the 550 plus mastery. At 900 plus, there's some people out there that have that mastery. Just go check them out. They're on streams or whatever, and they pretty much you get a lot of hards and sharp shards and concentrated gems for enhancing. The material itself for enhancing all kinds of life skill mastery equipment is black gem fragments. So black gem fragments tells you how to make them there. Once you get that, then it turns into black gems, and then concentrated magical black gems to take them even farther. Just treat this as the best way to look at life skill mastery gear is that they now gave gear for life skills. Essentially, it's like combat gear where you got dim tree spirit, red nose armor, and whatever. Well, you got manos gear and manos clothes for that, which is the boss equivalent for life skills essentially. So you got green grade, blue grade, and gold grade and orange abyssal grade or whatever. Well, there's no real gold grade, but that's pretty much it. It just goes straight to abyssal grade. But and essentially that's pretty much life skills. Cooking, everybody does this these days. Guru should be fairly easy to get, simply because of the mass cooking chance that is now enabled, that consumes 10 times the batch amount of ingredients while cooking, which only consumes 1 durability, which is why there's a lot of utensils on the market. Imperial itself helps replenish the ingredients and the utensils itself, so it's kind of self-sustaining in a circular fashion. And alchemy, very hard to level, very slow, still 1 by 1, but you can spawn random stuff. So having high level alchemy is actually kind of nice. Sometimes you could just be crafting like random crap and you'll just get like a hard shard or a sharp shard out of nowhere. Training, horses, I already did this in the horse training video on version 2. That was already with Manos inclusion. All the details there were literally within foresight of this update on all these things coming in, so that is still fixed with whatever I said in that video. Trade, there isn't any. I'm pretty sure there's never going to be any. I could be wrong, but it seems unlikely. This is already seems pretty good in my opinion. Farming, they're probably going to do something interesting with this. Sailing, this is just every 50 points you get half of all stats for your ship movement, which is really useful. Speed, I think on ships, like once you reach a certain point, just like horses, if you get a certain amount of speed, I believe it also starts moving extremely fast. This game has a lot of like weird soft cap invisible thresholds that people just discover after a certain point. And barter, this is just new. No real information about this other than that it decreases the amount of parley spent for bartering, which eventually when you do an X number of exchanges for bartering, it'll unlock new trade paths for you. I haven't really dove into it, but I have conversed with my guild members and officers that constantly do this on the day-to-day just for information regarding that. And pretty much like, you know, there's titles for it. So when you do enough bartering and you get a title, you're probably very close to a threshold where it unlocks a new trade route for you. And when you get new trade routes, you get more materials, better trades, better sea coins. Eventually you'll start giving you Carrick materials too for the highest tier ship that's available currently as of this video. And that's pretty much it. So there's not really too much else I want to go after in this introduction video. Manos Mastery, just to briefly sum it up all again, Manos Mastery, Life Skill Mastery is just a bonus towards life skilling. It made life skilling not as crappy anymore. Some people say life skilling takes no effort. I'm like, it takes a fuckload of effort, just so you know. Spread that message. Okay, none of this stuff is easy to set up. Some of us have been going for pretty much the length of the entire game's lifespan, setting up like node networks like this and setting up materials and also getting our storages all in place. It's not like pick up a gear and click 12 times on your enhance button and then get the gear and then just grind your face off with X amount of skills per class. So it's a bit of a mess. Okay, it's always a material mess in the storages here. None of this should really be common ever. It should really be cleaning this up. This is awful. Been saying this for months on stream everywhere. Anyways, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the upcoming series of videos, and until then, I'll catch you later. Bye bye for now. Peace.